NYPD is reporting that the city saw an increase in crime from April of last year to April of 2021.
And as the city gets ready to fully reopen, there are new calls to make the subways and the buses safer. Joining us this morning, NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea. Nice to have you back on Good Day New York.
Lori, Rosanna, thanks for having me.
All right, so I consider myself a real New Yorker. The mayor says if you're a real New Yorker, you're not scared to ride the subway. The governor says something else. What's the truth, and how many police officers do you actually have on patrol in the subway right now?
So when you look at the crime in the city as a whole, Rosanna, you know, and I think the New Yorkers know one thing, that the NYPD is going to be out there for them and continuing to keep New Yorkers safe. We have the same levels of officers in the transit system. When you look at what we deploy there, it's in the range of what we historically have had. In fact, we're putting more of the officers assigned in transit actually out onto the platforms, subways, and into the stations. You know, so the administrative across the department, because of what we faced the last couple of years, has really been pushed out through some good management, Kathy O'Reilly, Eddie Delatorre before. We've also supplanted it with some overtime. We've put auxiliary officers recently into the top 20 stations in the city, just really all to make New Yorkers feel safe and to really, give New York a shot in the arm as we start to come back.
But is it enough? I mean, the interim transit president, Sarah Feinberg, is pleading for more police officers. We have transit workers. You saw some of the video. Transit workers pleading for more help on the subway. And then let's not even talk about the nuisance crimes of people getting spit on that they're not really reporting to the police department, or dresses being pulled up that they're not reporting to the police department. It's quality of life underground.
Yeah, so Rosanna, I've had a number of conversations with Sarah. You're right, she's fiercely advocating for more officers, and we are doing everything that we can within the balance of the entire city. There's obviously a lot of issues going on.
Can you not put more police officers down on the subways until you get the okay from the mayor? Like, what's stopping you?
No, nothing to do with the mayor. You know, I will move resources around this police department as I see fit. We do it on a day-to-day basis, Rosanna, but as has been chronicled, and I'm sure you're going to discuss it in a moment, we also have some other issues going on. So, I mean, you also have to remember, too, that right now the subways are coming back. The ridership is slowly increasing. When you look at the crime levels in the subway, they're down pretty dramatically. Like that terrible incident yesterday, is just horrible and one too many. And we're asking New Yorkers, specifically on that train at Crescent Street in Brooklyn, you know, we think there was a couple witnesses that were there and probably saw something. We need you to call NYPD, go onto the Twitter page or call the Crime Stoppers hotline today just to know what you know about that incident.
But Commissioner, so you're talking about Mr. Sykes, the conductor, who's unconscious right now, who was slit from ear to eye, who was off duty at the time. And you said, as you see fit, that police officers would then be adjusted to patrol the subway. So when we talk about hard fact numbers and knowing that 500 were there back in February after the stabbings, and the mayor says it's been softened now, what would justify you feeling it's fit to put more police officers and make those adjustments when we have not just that one conductor, but another conductor, let alone the ridership and the people, the passengers that are scared to take a train?
Yeah, no, that's a fair question, Lori. But again, I would remind people that that is one part of New York City, and it's a very, very important part. And where we are in crime, when the whole picture in New York City is roughly a 45% decrease in crime in transit. And that includes, I've heard a lot of things about lower complaints and harassment complaints. There are some issues in the train, and Kathy and her team are deploying on a day-to-day basis, both uniform, plain clothes, overtime, auxiliary officers. So there's a very healthy presence in the transit system. What I would tell you is that, you know, when one incident like that, you cannot downplay it. It's a horrific incident. But we're right now down in those types of incidents from last year. That's a fact. So So that's a key part. And when you talk about how we balance New York City as a whole, you also have to talk about what's happening above ground. And there is a considerable shooting spike that we're also having to address in some of the inner city neighborhoods.
Yeah, we just had this story also about this guy near Strawberry Fields who was arrested and the handgun was found there. But yet we're told that that Central Park is safe to be there. What should we be fearful?
No, it was one of the jewels of the city, has been for a long time and continues to be. I'm in that park on a weekly basis. It's a treasure. It is extremely safe. Great job by the Central Park officers, the commanding officer there. Great job by the workers of Central Park. It was a full team effort, and thankfully this gentleman was taken off the street pretty quick.
Can we talk about the homeless? Because obviously it's a problem above ground and below ground. And as you know, the homeless delayed the train system 90 minutes the other day. Some social workers don't want to be the people to go in there before the police officers do, for a number of reasons. One, they're concerned about their own safety. Two, they say they don't make as much as the police officers. I mean, how are you going to handle this?
Yeah, well, this is what we're coming. This is a big problem. I mean, it is. There's no way around that. Where we're having this debate, not only here but across the country, about what should the police respond to. And there's a lot of people with great ideas, but at the end of the day, it's generally the police that are called, and that is a fact for a lot of different reasons. So we're going to continue to be there for New Yorkers. We're going to be there however we are called upon in New York City to be utilized. You know, clearly there's a nexus here to mental illness. We're seeing it above and below ground. But again, you know, it's Friday. There's got to be some happy vibes out there, too. And all is not bad. I mean, the city is coming back. It's Friday. We're going to have a great weekend here, and I'm just looking forward to it.
I like your attitude, but what happens when we listen to the governor? You know, the governor is saying that he thinks it's scary to ride the subway. He doesn't think his children should ride the subway.
Well, listen, you should do what I do. I stopped listening a long time ago.
Okay.
Okay. For Mother's Day, what you doing with your wife?
I am going to hopefully, you know, visit my mom and treat my wife very well on that day. I will make sure of both of those things.
Police Commissioner, listen, I know that when you come on, we give you a hard time. We respect the men and the women of the department. And we just want to make sure that New York is not sliding to a place that it's going to be a very long time for us to get out of.
Well, everyone listening, and I think everyone knows this and loves their police department, we are going to do everything possible for this great city and for the people of this great city to keep it as safe as we possibly can. And you know that.
For real New Yorkers and for...
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Let's go Mets.
Right, wait, before you go, do the mayor's children have police detail when they're riding the subway?
No.
They don't.
Okay. Just checking. All right. Thank you, Commissioner.
Good to have that cleared up.
Thank you.
All right. Will you come back?
We always like having the police commissioner on.
All right.
He wants us to have a positive vibe. I get it.
That's true. We ended it well.
Okay.
All right.